What's up, traders? So we're still trying to build the smaller account, and to do that, guys, we have to be picky. We don't want to blow up our account. We don't want to force trades. We don't want to, have the fear of missing out like I had posted about yesterday. However, we are going to go over some trades that, could have been possibly in the future, but just while we're building this account, they're just not for us. There was one trade that we missed, and we'll go ahead and get into that. Okay, so we're going to start with IPI. So IPI was one that she was already over $4. We saw the spike. First thing we looked at when we pulled this chart up, we see that spike, so we're like, okay, we're interested, but then we start going through the motions, does it fit our parameters? So she came over 4, so we're looking at that. So really we were looking for this to extend to that $0.50 break, because that's what we're looking for as we're in our account builder mode. However, when you look down at the volume, I started to notice that the time in sales wasn't going crazy. There wasn't much movement when I pulled the chart up. And so there was, you recognize that there's no volume. So you move on. And maybe in the future, this is one that we could probably get because, when I pulled it up, I was looking at this engulfing green candle. She made a little bit more of a push, and you could kind of tell that she was stopping even with no volume. So if I had money to throw at these, hopefully in the future, like they say, it takes money to make money. So hopefully if we can, take our time, build our account up, we can play these in the future. But for now, we're just playing it safe. HYRE. This was a good one. And again, this is one that we possibly could have played, but how this happened in real time, I saw this one happen in real time. I pulled up the chart as I saw the intensity scanner go off, and it popped right over 6 and dropped. It came up, dropped right under 6. And then, these moves were so quick that it wasn't like it held up here for a couple seconds and it gave you a chance. It was like over 6, down below 6. And then even over here, it was over 6, down below 6. So this one was really hard to get into. However, if it did get up here and it would have held out for a couple seconds, this would have been a good trade. Anywhere above 6, because she did get back down to 580. So you could have gotten above 6 and then out under 6 for a decent amount. But again, that was a no trade. It was random volume that kind of came out of nowhere for that pop, and then she just kind of died off the rest of the day. Now, SFIX, SFIX, and MOMO, these were both kind of the same ordeal. They both came out of the gate strong on earnings. And as you can see, this, even if you were fighting this one up, you can see she had a big drop here. She didn't get over 37. She got denied. So we wouldn't have been in this trade because, again, we're looking for that whole dollar break. However, she had a huge fall all the way to 35.37. When I was actually watching this, I had 50 shares loaded. And even then, I was still a little hesitant. Just, with the smaller account, you want to play it safe, because especially with these earnings plays, because you don't know where this is going to go. If you look at the daily down here, this thing has been above 50 before. So you don't really want to fight this too much. And even with 50 shares, it's only 6 entries. Or actually, if you want to do the 1, 1, 2, that's 50, 50, 100, so 200. And then if you want to double that, so you're at 400 shares and 1, 2, 3, 4 entries. So you're kind of fighting it. And then at that point, you're talking some big bucks if you're fighting this, trying to, manage the trade. So I kind of have been a little bit weary of anything over $20 right now, just because we're trying to build the account. But as you can see hopefully in the future, when we can play these, she gave us a beautiful move. Even if you didn't catch this first move and get out, she did make the 37 pop, and she went right to 37.70. She just kept going, and you felt her stop. Like, I was watching this one live, and you felt her stop towards the top, and then she came down, and then she just gave you, obviously she came back up to 37.44, but if you're looking for the big move under VWAP, she gave it to you. So if you were patient enough, for this one, and you were in towards the top for the pop over 37, you're good to go. And kind of the same thing happened on MOMO, actually right around the same price point. But this one was more of a, she gave you the pop right over 37 and she failed. So a little bit of a fake out breakout over 37. And then she fell all the way, I would say, on this candle. So she fell all the way down under 36. So this one was a good one too. And they both gave you good moves. And unfortunately, they were just a little too expensive. If these were in the 20s, just 10 points cheaper, Probably could have maybe thought about playing it with the 50 shares, but just up here, guys, it's a little too expensive. So VVPR to me was a no trade, because I was actually kind of watching this as it goes up. And if you remember yesterday, we talked about stair stepping, and that's kind of after this move right here, where she got up to like 190. If you notice, she didn't even drop back down that far. She went to 181. So from 192 to 181, 11 cents or whatever, but you're not looking for that small of a move per se. And then you can see she just started coming up, and you see these wicks like this. So she was going up, coming down a little bit, going up, coming down a little bit. So you have to assume that she's probably going to keep doing that until she's ready to be done, until the buyers get exhausted, etc. But when you also see the volume coming in like this, you have to be a little bit, wary that she's just going to keep going. If the volume's coming in, the odds are, buyers are there and they're stepping in, so they're going to go. But as you can see, she had a big sell off here, and she started to form a nice descending triangle. And sure enough, she finishes the descending triangle, goes right through VWAP, comes up, retests VWAP, and she's been under it since. So if you would have got in up here, or if you were even fighting it, like say you got in for the break of 2 up here, didn't get out on this candle, added up here, say 225, so now you're in like 214-ish area. You probably would have been looking somewhere for like 250 for another ad. She never gave it to you. You would have been sitting through all this, and then you would have got your breakdown, and you would have made decent money. So, or you could have even got in if you didn't get any of this, looking for this ascending triangle. I mean, you could have found the bottom here, so at the 207 area, and once you saw it forming, I mean, you could have looked to get in a little bit higher as she was getting squeezed tighter and tighter, and then sure enough, she dropped. So that is what it is. And the last one we got, guys, is NM. So in NM, this one was straight out of the gate, and this is the one that I feel that I missed. I don't think I was actually looking at it. I had it pulled up on one of my extra charts, and I guess I was watching SFIX or MOMO for whatever reason. I was scared to play those, but yet I was still watching them. But as you can see, she kind of came back down, but then she had a nice shot right over 3. And I don't know how this played out. I don't know if she went over 3 and got shot right back down, but I'm assuming since she went up over 320 that it didn't just get shot right back down. So the odds are I would have been in over 3, and she gave us a nice move, if we were patient, all the way back down to 256. So anything over 3, somewhere above, say 260, that would have been a great move. This is one that I feel like I missed. This is exactly what I'm looking for right now, are the whole dollar breaks on some volume. Getting in and looking for this pullback or flush or whatever you want to call it. So with that, guys, I hope you stay green today. Another no trade day for me, a little disappointed in that, but I didn't really see anything. The volume was kind of dry in most places today. It was very spread out. So it wasn't that it was dry, it was just very spread out. And a lot of it was in the mid-cap stocks today. So, we're not always going to get moves that we're looking for, but these are the days that we just have to stay disciplined. And hopefully we'll find something tomorrow that'll make up for yesterday and today. So, got to be patient, especially when you're in account builder mode. You can't be forcing trades. When you force trades, you're going to end up losing. And even if you win, it's just bad because you're winning based on a forced trade, and you shouldn't be doing that. You're going to start convincing yourself that you can make those trades over and over again, and that's just not how it's done. So like and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate that. Always helps me to know that you guys support the channel. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and we'll get to those and maybe start a conversation about something or answer some questions that you may have. And until then, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.